E aí, beleza? Vamos para mais uma missão lendária da Scofier, dessa vez, Preciosidade Sublime. Vamos aí.
Is that Navia over there? Oh, it's been a while. Let's go say hi. Hey, Navia, what you up to?
Shh! Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly! Right now, you're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Boer name!
It wasn't...
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say.
Wait! Huh? Who do you think you are telling me... wait a sec. Navia? So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself!
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take...
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill...
Overworked? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If Fermont can't handle the job, then tough...
But Philmont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside!
Huh? But you said...
Just do as you're told, and not another...
Wow, what a hook.
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama. Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's...
I'm sorry.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress. Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her. Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. And that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way. Camping out, watching, and waiting.
Oh, shoot. It all makes sense.
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica... and besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage. Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now.
Paimon will join you, 'cause this is...
Guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. That said, if a really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern...
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. This is a small token from us. It's some candy.
Monica's the one apologizing?
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
All right.
Thank you for understanding.
A little highly strung, huh?
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like...
Well, according to Fermont's family, she hasn't always been like this. But...
Paimon totally gets it. Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper. Find...
Escoffier? Could this mean...
Huh? You know that name, Navia?
Yeah. Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Cendre for now. That's where we'll find Escoffier anyway.
quebrada.
So, who is this?
She. Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Bourg and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Bourg's history. After the culinary genius Modeste himself.
Gâteau de Bourg. That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right?
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Bourg was reported for a safety incident. But none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head...
The Fortress of Mirapede?
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned...
So that's what happened.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monaco, it's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the...
What?
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the... You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the...
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember what...
Yes, Chef.
Excuse us.
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up?
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef. Well, in her words, the Hotel de Bourg doesn't need her anymore.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every...
Firmont. That's the second time we've heard that.
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son, and with he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia! I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't...
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every...
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his companion, Paimon. Yeah?
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We're here to talk about Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count, but I don't work for the Hotel de Bourg anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me... Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job and...
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid, even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe.
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either. Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across... Fiamar and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look...
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica.
Escoffier?
I can't believe her. Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable. I won't stand for this. She has to learn.
Wait, so now she's,
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Wait, she looks like... Is that Escoffier?
Escoffier's back? Yes, I've missed her cooking.
I was just saying, Hotel de Bourg is nothing without her.
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if...
But, please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna...
What the heck?
Get up, Monica. Can't you see that you're just making...
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this...
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen.
That's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Fermat had to put up with, then...
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite...
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savannah tasted...
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I think the difference is that we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly... That these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier...
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not...
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then? That banquet was a huge event. And so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that...
Lumaline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the Lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste...
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive And everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients, but you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a... And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but...
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef?
No.
So, you do remember who... Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place.
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this?
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore. So stop acting like...
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can
That's none of your business!
What happened to not...
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as it got...
Huh? Fan Asian?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tete-a-tete between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare say it would be
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
That's right! I'm talking, of course, about the tradition.
According to legend, the founders of Hôtel de Bord, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their The cooking contest would decide who had
Huh. Sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Pode crer.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous... And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution...
Reintroduction? Someone...
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you, of all people, won't back down from this challenge.
Sure, I reinstated it, but...
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the
Exhibition. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hit...
What? The Codex de Boer?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Boer. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And
Present and former.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own cop.
Don't take me for a fool. I want your copy. The original version. The one...
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you...
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift. To thank Escoffier for her...
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the Codex. Well, Escoffier?
You sound surprisingly confident. All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long...
Believe me, I'll...
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendre so I can get prepping.
I can't believe I got to witness that firsthand.
I do apologize. This whole ordeal reflects rather poorly. I'm afraid it's not quite that simple. The Hôtel de Bord runs as more of... So, while I am technically Savannah's boss, to be perfectly honest with you, if Escoffier wins, it would be the perfect... But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I must say, sir...
bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking.
Huh? Holding back?
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but...
Okay. That's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creation, for instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special so rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone, Modeste and Savelli, went on to found the original Hôtel de Bourg, especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over...
Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Bourg took its right...
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after, and that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the...
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical...
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the taste of...
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now...
Wait, really? Why, though?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the Codex. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanigem's...
Oh! Huh.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in font. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy.
So why is she... Could it be a symbolic thing? Like...
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to a scoff. Maybe from her point of view, it's like managed...
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to give me the original...
What? Huh.
Who knows? It means besting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to... However much she's changed since we worked together.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get...
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do...
Well, that's easy. The three of us...
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior.
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks even if it means competing against the Traveler. So...
confident. I like it.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in your case is that mise en place is chopping stuff up without sending juices flying all over the kitchen. Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses but this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably did...
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything this weird before. Cool. Not weird.
device isn't cold enough. I need to reduce the temperature.
Up to the freezer! And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more constant.
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. I'll demonstrate again. Slowly and carefully. Not a drop too much and not a drop too little. That didn't count. I was... And voila! Now it's your turn. Not terrible. But the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your... that goes without saying. Still, credit or I. Now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the... That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice. How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? I know this doesn't represent what you're capable of. Try again, and this time. How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? Choose wisely. I expect you to present the most... Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose.
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything.
6 points.
What? Oh, well...
That's 6 out of 100.
What?
You say you're a connoisseur, But it's quite clear from this dish that you have, by that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat.
Aw.
Oh, me next, me next. I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has two.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out.
Because it. Aw.
Now to the final dish.
So,
This is our last hope.
8 points.
darn. That's bad.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe if...
How did you pull that off?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its
Hey, you made that last part up. No way did you take...
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square.
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining.
Chef Escoffier,
Oh, it's Hilaire. What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing Gâteau de Bois, right?
Huh. And you think you're up to the task?
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Firma. Last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me...
Yeah, I was...
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much... The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de...
Firma, have you even set...
I have not. But I'm fully rest... Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
What do you call this, Firma?
I can't see...
Do it again! Again!
I...
Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad! What's wrong? I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then I... Dad, talk to me.
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological.
Monica, when did you get here?
Probably because you were all concentrating so. But anyway, Firma, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order...
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savannah was...
She sounds like the worst. All right, enough.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what...
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it. In the trash now!
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Do it again, do it again, do it again!
Every time you remake it, you just get...
Either straighten yourself out, or get...
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flashbacks of her yelling at me.
Oh, man. That must be awful.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't acquitted when you were working for me, and even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That's...
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier, and maybe Savannah was right. Dad.
I see. I will win this contest, and after that,
But what if you can't find another assistant?
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, even if I had to go it alone, I would
Oh, well, Paimon and Nadia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Yeah, and if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula to put out an emergency.
Actually, I thought maybe I could help.
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then...
You do this for us?
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah?
I know, but it's all right. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Fermat. I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive.
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go.
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all,
Spina sponsored? Wait,
well, I promised the traveler a feast.
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
alright, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives. That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on.
That was a dream come true. Paimon never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
I wish I could eat that all over again.
So, this is what Chef... Wow. Huh?
Why, Savannah? Oh, nothing. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed. But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between. The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old... Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there, but those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the others... well, I mean to an extent, of course. And the idea that she turned out like this... I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex. Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the hotel. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Bourg and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound, unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut, and with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the people started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured. Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, and that was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy.
even as the latter was hoping to make amends. Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can... And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut. You're right about that. Just follow my... Let's hope that Savannah isn't all sizzle and no steak. After all...
Vamos lá.
It's cooking contest day! To the Hotel de Boer! Tongue sweet!
Did you hear the news? Escoffier's coming back for a cooking contest.
Wait, seriously? Escoffier in a cooking contest? Now that I've got to see.
I don't get it. Why would anyone in their right mind challenge her to a cooking contest?
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome one and all to the Hotel...
Savannah, I brought the original copy of the codex.
Monica?
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. The labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after.
As one of the judges, I promise to...
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me. Getting a seat...
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then, without further ado, let the Hotel de Bord cooking contest commence!
Monica, Traveler, it's go time. Let's do this. Even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Alphonse, Gaspar, get to work! Do not disappoint me.
Looks like our two head chefs are raring to go. Like an oven on full blast, this competition is quickly heating up.
Adaptive frosting!
That should be enough flavoring. Now hurry up and balance the flavors. balance of flavors is about right. But the quantity is too low.
So, what do you think?
Escoffier is already on the final step of the recipe. Let's check on Savannah's progress.
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
I present to you Gâteau de Bourg. We were like a flock of snowing geese, completely in sync, working gracefully and elegantly together. Great work, team!
Time's up! Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
That guy was right. You really can't tell who's it.
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She would—
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This,
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10, only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the rest.
Huh? Really?
All right, on to gâteau number 2. I haven't had a...
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the age.
How exciting! I think...
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all...
It appears the decision is unanimous.
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be perfect, but
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cooking contest.
What? It's... Savannah?
no, that's impossible.
Hey, Savannah! You cheated, didn't you? You cheater! What did you do? Oh, you swapped the plates.
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a... It was Vanna Gem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to... Isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge?
You take judges! We demand a rematch.
That's enough. As head chef, or rather as team lead, I take responsibility for the dish I served. Whatever went wrong, Savannah. I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened?
I don't know what you're
If you want the Codex to bore that much...
Scoffier, no!
But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for...
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over, and I
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? But only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure.
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duty. So, will that be all, ex-head chef? Or
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss. Just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to...
I know what I'm doing. I don't need your...
All right, fine. I'm glad.
Escoffier?
The Codex de Boer! Finally.
Scoffier, how could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is a souvenir of...
It's all right. It was just a bake-off. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex would solve everything, I'd...
No. No!
Huh?
That's it? No secrets. No nothing? I don't believe it. This can't be happening.
Oh, Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of...
Oh, I knew it.
Pent-up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us,
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize...
But why?
our best guess is she doesn't want to be seen as less of a...
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating.
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on...
Leone and Algalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already...
Not to worry. Come on, join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty gâteau.
Well, how is it? Have you figured...
Oh, this is aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather...
is it really that bad?
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah, the offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base. Which means, or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
I'm sorry. I was forced into... It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would...
Calm down, Monica. I've already accepted defeat. Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans.
I was the one who...
Food safety. Wait, you mean...
I think so? Savannah and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything, but I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with... But the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as
This is crazy. So Savannah pressured you into sabotaging a
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. I was so scared. I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
Seriously?
Huh?
Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out. So you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or anything like that.
You mean...
Oh, well, I'm not saying you don't have to take responsibility for your mistakes. You should tell Vanajem to mark down your performance for the past few months. Then do some digging.
Understood.
Good. Now, back to Savannah. What about the original code?
I have my suspicions. Ugh. What happened to me? I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our men.
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the difference was so small. I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most...
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get... So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward...
She wants to prove that she can fill Escoffier's shoes. But after countless setbacks, she's getting more, and at some point along the way, she switched from doubting her...
Doubting Escoffier? For what?
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine.
Oh, for goodness sake. What is...
Of course. Then she finally got the codex, only to discover that seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system.
There's still one thing that doesn't make sense, though. If she might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts...
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier...
New head chef, you say? What's her name?
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without...
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something?
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. Even if you don't... Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone...
All this time, I've been blaming other people.
Caraca, cheio de reviravoltas.
I sincerely apologize for putting everyone out. Savannah's awake now, but let's give her the day to calm down. I'm sure you'll have...
In that case, I'll go and update for Ma and his family.
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
That was a long day.
Oh, nice! Macarons or...
Traveler, how much do you know about the snow-winged goose? Every year they migrate long distances in search of a suitable home. There's always one goose at the front whose job is... Fontaine poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership and genius. But what those poets don't know is that during a migration, once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue, it retreats to the back of the... So the truth is that leadership, with all the responsibilities and pressures that come with it, it's something that everyone takes turns at. I guess what I'm saying is, I don't buy into this notion that there's some sort of gulf between... Cooking is a science, not magic. Given the same ingredients, same recipe. Of course, some people have a more sensitive palate than others, and some people are just born bolder or more I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believed that perfection can only come from the hands of a genius. The only reason I hold people to high standards... Okay, and come tomorrow, I'll give her the scolding of her... Thank you for your words of encouragement. I'm gonna head... Genius? Calling someone a genius is just another way of saying I'm too lazy to figure out how I need to improve.
It's.
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Vanigem isn't for a while. Check on her? Why? What? Oh no, Escoffier!
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee and. Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all? Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
Hello! What can I get for you? Sure thing. We're here to go. Huh? Oh, I see. First...
Coffee. I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it. But make sure to catch up in your sleep when you...
I think I fixed...
Wait, let investigate.
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small. I can't believe it's caused some... Yes, except my failure.
Escoffier! Have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No, not...
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how only to find an empty... I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home. If she's not here...
Boss, Escoffier!
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping...
We were, but then, just after...
Oh, looks like a map with a...
Wait a second. This feels familiar. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures. Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure...
The Codex de Bord? Then...
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the
Idiot.
Hold on. There's more.
hein?
It
Só
was
reviravolta a quest.
You let the Lumaline through, didn't you? It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safe?
Retrieve the codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating.
She's keeping the true recipe to her.
Ugh, this is all such a mess. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now...
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put 2 and 2 together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident, the demand for a cooking contest, the instruction to blackmail Monica, even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it?
We should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly the idea of it had...
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Memoria. So yeah.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? Aw, they ran off!
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure?
Good point.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
We have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides... See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them.
There is no time for that. Romaritime flowers and Lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing.
Wait, we're seriously...
Off to the freezer!
or not? Are we sure?
Trust me, they'll love it.
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off and...
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said it?
Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
The tracks turned back again. Oh, so annoying. Adventure crossing. Hey, it's open!
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little... Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know... Did you not hear me?
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear.
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her... So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain. That she deliberately... First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli. He offered Modeste his friendship, only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. So you see, you're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him...
I am no Savelli. Nor will I...
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now?
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness.
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your...
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
What?
Ever since I learned the truth. I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long!
But you drank it too!
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You...
What's so...
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play... I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just...
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now...
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh? You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me.
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica! We got you!
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive! Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as...
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this?
A recipe! You chefs are... Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius. The je ne sais quoi factor in his...
Are you serious? You're here because of a gâteau de bois.
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, he and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Memoria in the palms of their hands. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's right. I've done my research. It was a drug that Memoria developed for their war machine.
Will you listen to yourself?
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this...
Wait, what's that?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Uh-oh. Savannah's going to...
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that...
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure...
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route.
Caraca, que quest é essa? Só trairagem.
The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere.
Tá, tem que ir na água, né? Saquei. Quero explorar pra ver se não tem nada mesmo. Tem um baú, não?
Bring it!
Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests. It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers. Off to the breather! linatol like that. Alright, I've got to jot this down. Lunatols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
Oh, brilliant! That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date. Huh, you really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff. Just like you. Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a... Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging...
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably sadly, up above, on dry land, the treasure of Memoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned gâteau. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He was praised as a genius. While I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, Modeste tried his best to console me. But I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to, or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face. Unfortunately, that...
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came...
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true...
The taste of Gâteau de Bourg has changed. Modeste was convinced of this. Even being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales, but as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found it was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. The treasure of Memoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience. But in the long term, in hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Memoria. He consumed it all. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he
Pô,
took
e o
his own
cara,
life.
e o cara ainda ficou com a reputação
And because
de
we had become
ter
estranged,
matado
I
ele.
cannot be there to stop
Caramba.
him, to offer some words of comfort. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final...
The treasure of Memoria? Guess Monica was really onto something.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, while the room... Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Memoria.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail. And how did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius? What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come to pass. I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should...
So we thought. But if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there...
The treasure of Memoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle. But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Memoria. Oh, it's empty?
Monica? Oh, we were seconds.
Escoffier? What's...
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore, and so he came here after his friend's death and destroyed
This can't be happening! All the years I spent piecing all that for an empty job!
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more...
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Praise be to Lord Remus. You barbarian shall be...
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else! Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out! Here the echoes of the gold!
Why is this place still shaking? Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, Trump!
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, no you don't. If I can't get what I want, I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho!
When did you wake up?
I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler!
Venejem!
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and...
We had to do something. Even though that's something...
I don't deserve... It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her stand. Come back, Escoffier. Come and...
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left?
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time.
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it...
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, at the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we...
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Fermont and to...
Well, about that, there's some...
It's been a while, Chef Savannah.
Fermont? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way But... I'm too late, aren't I?
Actually, I think I'm going to be
Huh?
We thought Firma's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, and as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumali.
No way! Doesn't...
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complication. A small dose might simply make a person more emotional.
No wonder it seemed like you lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. Well, that's what happens when you give some...
There's... more.
You mean... she poisoned me too?
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been...
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumiline. That stuff can only amplify, so you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it just... I mean, is it because...
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a all the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged—
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong. It all comes back to one simple...
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act first. Do you know how long I spent perfecting my Gâteau de Bourg? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt. Or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes. Learn from them. Surely you haven't forgotten all that.
I haven't...
That's...
Ha-ha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the hotel.
What a perfect ending!
So you got your mojo back?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoff.
Friends again! So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
But that was mostly
Right. And also...
No excuses. This is a cooking, so grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening.
Hey, so,
The second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Quite rightly, too.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's... I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this... I had two reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a... So I decided to step down.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Niue. She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slimy eaters, blizzard tales. With her, there's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored. Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used...
What?
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs, and the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from...
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
Don't worry, it's not gonna be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Boer, revised version.
Alright! So...
Oh, of course. I've already promised Banishan that I'll come back every once in a while to...
You know, Paimon's still a little... Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so... She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Boer. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, the so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles.
Huh? So then... what?
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then. So desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, and as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. Even if Sibeli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt...
So after all that, there was nothing. It feels strange to say, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Hey! Huh? You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Rumoria. Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value.
Wait! Isn't that the jar they used to hold the...
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something.
Isso aí, concluído. Quest lendária, missão lendária da Escoffier concluída. Até a próxima. Tchau, tchau.